So we're finally, hi everybody. It's been forever, but we're gonna try to get this video series back on track. So here is the section on our footings, as we got past digging the big hole quite a while ago. And now we're framing out the footing forms and pouring the footings. So we had to set the perimeter of the boards, level out the areas that were overdug a little bit with gravel, and
Lots of gravel.
lots of gravel. And then we did have some help along the way on this section. We got some friends that came over and helped us get ready for the inspection, just because it was a little bit of a time crunch at the beginning of the project, going from excavation to like getting the foundation in, so we didn't have too much delay getting our project out of the ground, as they say. And so then we have like a section where there's the back door that has like the footings have to step down, because when the grade and the hole is dug out over there where the back door will be, the footings have to be a certain amount below the ground, because we're in the northeast and the frost line, etc., is a certain depth. So here it's 42 inches, so your footings have to be 42 inches below whatever the finished ground level is minimum. And of course, as per our way of doing things, there's always a stage of doing things in the dark.
No light show, no headlamp this time around.
No, well, maybe not, no. But this is just trying to dig out some of those steps for the lower parts of the footings. So then the next day, we had a little extra help getting the last forms together in time for the inspection, in time for the concrete, because we basically had 2 days, I guess, to get between getting ready and pouring, and inspection was like noontime-ish. So we spent most of the morning getting all the rebar set and the footing steps finished up, and because we made our own, we don't have the fancy little brackets that go over the two boards, so we have like spreader boards across the whole thing and metal banding strap underneath to keep the spacing of the boards proper, and used like metal sidewalk stakes to hold them in place. And we then went around with a laser level and marked the exact height of where we wanted the concrete to be, which we set little nails along all the chalk lines. They call them grade nails in the trade as they do it. They set the grade of the concrete all the way around. So we did all that. We had our inspection, and that went fine. And then we got ready to pour the concrete.
Right, the truck pulls up, and I got very to little no instruction on what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah, it was like, here's a trowel.
It was, here's a trowel, and I kind of mimicked.
You do
what I
that
saw.
while I do something else. Because there was 2 or 3 of us like guiding the truck and spreading the concrete as it went in the chute, and then 2 or 3 of us basically troweling it out. So one truck, it was 2 trucks total for the footings, about 14 yards, maybe 15, I don't remember exactly, but we basically got just under halfway with the first truck, and had to wait a while for the second truck, which is unfortunate because sometimes it's just the way it goes, but that means that there was some setting time for the first section. The other thing that I learned the hard way, if you're doing your own footings, or if you're doing anything this kind of thing on your own, is do the steps, or what they call the bulkheads, the parts where the footings drop down. Do that first, not last, because we did it last, and the second truck, the concrete was way too wet.
Yeah.
And it didn't fill in the voids in those areas as quickly. So
Now I'm remembering, didn't we have to shovel it out and back up?
We had to like stick boards in to hold it back, because it kept just flowing down through.
Now I remember that.
And then as it finally set up, then we were able to pull those temporary boards out that were kind of blocking the flow and fill it in a little bit.
Can't quite see that on video.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tedious.
Thankfully, it looks terrible if you were there, but it turned out okay. Part of the issue being, right, the first concrete truck, the mix was stiffer, and even though we didn't tell them to, the second truck was a lot wetter. So it was flowing too much there, and we had a little tiny bit of cold joint honeycombing from where this first truck was because of there being a delay between trucks. So try to avoid those things, but you can't avoid everything. Anyway, footings are done. On to the next thing.